Should you pull for Vivi's FR and BT? Let's get started with his roles. It's going to be a magic attacker and a poison sap. His notable attacks are fire, very creatively named. His skill 1, it is 4 HP dumps with 50% splash. Focus, another creative name. His skill 2 is 3 HP dumps with 50% splash, and it is extremely high turn rate. It is essentially instant turn rate. Meteor, his EX is 5 split HP dumps. It grants double black for 8 turns, and it transforms his HP attack to double fire. Let's get to what double fire is. It is his EX variant of his HP. It is a total of 8 HP dumps with 50% splash. It also cancels the double black buff. Doomsday, his LD, it is 5 AoE HP dumps. It self-harms Vivi by 30% of his current health. It inflicts fire resist down for 8 turns on all enemies, and it grants 8 levels of Memories of the Soul, his overhead. What it does is it grants a follow-up attack, which is called Embers of Darkness. It is 3 AoE HP dumps. It ignores defense. It reduces 1 level of Memories of the Soul, and it also self-harms the party by 15% of their current HP. Let's briefly talk about his BT effect. It is called Double Effect Reflect Double Flare. What the fuck? I don't know who the hell came up with these names, but they need to be fired, alright? It is an 8-turn BT effect in which buffs granted by Vivi from then on become gold framed. And after the BT effect expires, they all transform back to silver frames. Here's the kicker for Vivi's BT effect. When buffs are normally cancelled, once they become gold framed, they no longer get cancelled. So this plays into his HP attack, double fire, which it normally would cancel the double black buff, but if the double black buff is gold framed, it does not get cancelled, and he's still able to fire that EX variant HP attack. Let's go to his force conditions. You get a 40% plus when using a changed ability or upgraded brave or HP attack. We have a 20% increase when the party is less than 100% of max HP, a plus 5% when using a fire ability including off turn damage, and also a final 5% when Vivi uses a fire ability including off turn damage. So Vivi's pros: he is a very high single target attacker, and his follow-up damage is also very strong. Because of his BT effect, you're going to be able to spam Vivi's HP attack, which is by far his strongest move. His HP attack is a total of 8 HP dumps, and the follow-up adds another 3 on top of that. So whenever you're using Vivi's HP skill, you're getting 11 dumps of straight damage, and that is very strong. He can by far be your main attacker. In terms of damage alone, he is great at what he does, and he's made that much better due to his consistent follow-up attacks. His echo itself is extremely strong. It is a single target echo, and it does high damage. So not only are you going to be edging out another turn in your force times, but the amount of damage that Vivi's Force Echo does, it is a lot of damage. Gold frame buffs in this game, they don't get canceled. The only way gold frame buffs go away is if they naturally expire. And Vivi's buffs, they last a very long time, so it's going to be very unlikely for Vivi to ever have his buffs run out. Finally, this might be a bit of a weird pro, and some might say it's unnecessary. I actually think it's a very important pro. One of his most important, in my opinion. The fact that Vivi is great at farming can actually lead people to build him when they normally wouldn't. You see, Vivi's normal skills are very fast, and his follow-up is also very fast. So even if you didn't decide to pull for the FRBT, if you built him up just to his LD, he is going to be a fantastic choice for farming levels. You now have a strong attacker in Vivi who can also serve as someone who can clear out levels extremely quickly. In my opinion, the best farmer in the game. Let's get to his cons. He is going to be constantly draining the party's HP. His follow-up consistently drains 50% of the party's current HP. If you're looking for usage in him with defensive teams, with teams that focus on having as much health as possible, you might want to think twice on polling for him, because as you're going to learn in this video, or maybe using him yourself, he is a very selfish attacker. He doesn't really benefit anyone but himself, really. And in some aspects, constantly draining the party's health can actually hurt the utility of your other units. unless maybe you have a unit in which their kit or their FR benefits well from having max health. With Vivi, it's not going to be a good combination, and also constantly draining your party's HP. If the enemy happens to take a lot of turns, that makes it extra dangerous to use him. Following with that, his skills themselves are underwhelming. His main damage by far is his HP variant attack, and that's what you're going to be using mainly in order to dish out the most damage from Vivi. You're not going to be looking at Vivi's skills very much, or even use them really. They don't do good damage, they barely give you any buffs. The only way I could see maybe using the skills is if the EX needs to recharge and your HP isn't transformed. That's the only reasoning I could see for you using his skills. Apart from that, just stick to his LD, his EX, and his HP attack, because that's where he does best. Following on him being a selfish attacker, he has a lot of self buffs. If you're trying to team him up with units that buff the party, such as maybe Aphmau, Core, Pinello, and you want Vivi to have their buffs too along with him, you're gonna find that very difficult, because Vivi, especially with his BT effect where his buffs become gold, it's gonna be very hard to time and fit in other buffs into his slots that aren't his own. Maybe have 1 to 2 slots available, maybe at the very most. Vivi also needs a lot of commitment on your part, because he needs his BT to be good. The only way he does extreme amounts of damage along the likes of Jack Garland or Sid Reigns or Tifa or whoever is if his BT effect is active. His BT effect is the reason why he's able to spam those HP attacks. If you don't have his BT, you're going to be doing minimalistic damage for a majority of the fights, and I don't recommend using him if you're not planning on greening him. I'm not saying he's a horrible unit, I'm just saying if you're gonna pull for him and you plan on using him in your main party as an attacker, it's either all in or all out. And lastly, this is kind of a shame because Neon just came out. He has no party fire enchant. You're gonna need help from outside kits if you want your entire party to deal fire damage, because Vivi does not inherently bring it. It's a reason why he works well with Neon. Neon, true party fire enchant. So if you use him along with her, you're gonna be doing great damage. However, if you don't have Neon or you didn't pull for her and you want him to make the entire party do fire damage, it's not gonna happen. My should you pull rating for Vivi is going to be an A. I personally will not be pulling for him because I already have Neon, and in my opinion, she has a lot more usage than Vivi. But fear not for people who do plan on building and using him. He does good damage, so it's not like he's going to be slacking in your team. Just keep in mind that he has some glaring weaknesses, and you are, to a degree, going to have to work around him. So that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching with me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!